So we'll be discussing what chakra medicine is. We'll be going through some basic techniques for scanning, clearing, and energizing. Things that we can do for our own chakras and for the chakras of others as well, whom we might be working with. And then we can use this space to do a one-on-one practice on each other and send some beautiful cleansing energy to each other through maybe the things that we learn here today or the things that come to you naturally. Whichever is fine, is perfect. And then we'll discuss towards the end what we've understood, what comes out of it, and discuss any questions that we might have as well. Okay. So let's maybe discuss what chakra sensing is and what are some of the ways that all of you use to sense someone's chakras, or your own as well.
Is that you opening the floor, Prash?
Yes, I am. Yes.
I try to do it through visualization.
Right. Would you be able to describe the process for us?
Oh, well, you're probably better at doing it than me, but I just imagine someone's whole body in front of me, and knowing where all the chakras are, I just sort of picture them and just try to just imagine I'm just scanning through them, like looking at them and trying to pick up if any of them are weak or need help. I'm kind of asking myself the question, which chakra is the most blocked, kind of thing, or where's their trouble? And I just
That's excellent.
visualize from top to bottom. That's my crazy methods.
That's actually a really good technique. Does anyone else have any other ways that they use to sense someone's chakras?
Well, in my case, I sense the person chakra through my own body.
Right.
When I have the person.
Really.
Sorry. Hello.
Hello.
Did someone say something? I don't know. It's breaking a little bit. I can't hear well.
Not sure.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I was saying that in my case, I sense the chakra through my own body first. I mean, my primary sensor for chakra is through my own body. Like when I have someone sitting in front of me, I can sense the energy of the chakra through my own body, like through my own chakra. I can sense it, the throat, whatever it is. I just sense it. I just have a sense of knowing of it. And then usually when I start my session, I will check with my pendulum, because my energy, I can tune easily with the pendulum.
Right.
And usually it confirms what I was sensing. I always double check anyway. I mean, I don't just take my sensation, what I perceive through my body. I always check it with the pendulum. And yeah, that's how I operate my own.
That's also very amazing.
Usually, I don't use visualization in that case unless it really comes naturally to me. I don't try to visualize. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't try to visualize it unless it comes naturally, like the visual of it or something comes to me naturally. Because maybe when it comes to chakra, I mean, on everything like clairvoyance or however you call it, it's something that comes naturally. It happens naturally to me. It just comes to me. So, but my primal sensor is through my body and knowing. I don't know how you call it, but I just know and I sense and I feel. Yes. And then I use the pendulum just to confirm what I was receiving. And it usually matches.
Right. Absolutely. That's a very, very awesome technique. How about you, Karina and Holly? How do you go about it?
I was saying that I have my chakra card, so as always, working with the card. Yes.
That's awesome.
I'm not too sure where you're up to because I only just logged on, so I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about.
Well, we're talking about what process do you use to sense the chakras of yourself or another individual?
I visualize and I feel.
Right.
Yeah.
And like Ruhaya, do you feel it within your own body?
Are you talking to Ruhaya or are you talking to me?
I'm talking to you. So as Ruhaya was explaining, that she feels when she senses another person's chakra, she feels their chakras or their sensation in her own body.
No,
is that right?
No, so I will feel the sensation sort of like through my hands, or I will get a different feeling. So they will feel one thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only really been practicing on my kids, but they'll get one sensation and I will actually feel it in a different way. And I find that when I'm practicing on others that don't feel it at all, that's when I'm getting the pains in my body, which I'm holding on to because I'm still remembering to clear the energy from myself and shield myself.
That makes sense. So this gives us one thing it makes clear is that we all sense and feel in our own unique way, and whichever way comes to us naturally is the right way. There is no right or wrong. There is no better or worse technique. We all come with these unique gifts, and as each one of us tap into our own gifts, whatever works for us, whatever works best with our intuition, our own unique gifts is what will work for us. And when we sense someone's chakras and however we sense them, we're left with an option of what to do with them, right? And sometimes when we work with an individual, we see that their chakras might be blocked, or they might not be spinning with the right momentum, or there might be too much energy, or there might be too little energy. Something might be haywire. And as we discussed last time, a block is just a lack of flow in energy. What we tend to do once we've sensed is we cleanse the chakras. And when we say cleanse the chakras, we remove any unwanted or unnecessary energy from a chakra to allow more flow. Now, once we have cleansed the chakra and we have removed anything which has created a stop or a block or a lack of flow in any way, we have to then energize it as well to bring it to its optimum capacity. And that is restoring the energy to ensure a better flow of energy. And as we get into more detail, there are things like chakra webs, particularly energy around a chakra, energy around the physical aspect or the etheric aspect of a chakra that tend to get damaged. And we can sew those so that the energy does not keep leaking out, it stays where it's meant to. And so basically in today's workshop, we'll be looking at some of the ways that we can do this. So starting from sensing to cleansing to energizing, and then finally sewing the chakras. And of course, once we've done that, we can do a one-on-one practice on each other. So let's...
I just have a question.
Yes.
So maybe it's just because I was not present at the first one. Maybe you discussed this already, but I have the feeling that these blockages or whatever the problem is with the chakra comes from the way a person behave and think. And so what we can do is like we can clean it or we can energize it. We can do a lot of things, but if the person doesn't energetically is not aware and is not going to change the way of living, then it's like when you go to the doctor, you get medicine, the pain is gone, but the problem is still there.
Yes, that's a very good point, Karina. And you know, with everything that we do, we have to respect an individual's choice, right? As you said, very rightly, everything is energy, and any manifestation that an individual has in their physical world is a manifestation of where their energy is at. For example, if we believe that there is a lack within us of which we cannot acquire something, then we will not acquire it, and constantly we will experience things which only reflect that lack which is within us. And it's very similarly, as an individual is going through something, and let's say they come to us or they ask us for help, they're coming for help because they are at a place in their lives where it has gone out of control and they require some sort of assistance to bring it back to normality. And often, more than not, things tend to go back, or they can go back, because as you said, we can clear the energy, we can restore things, but if the individual does not change their thoughts, their behaviors, their patterns, then experiences that drew them, or those experiences to them in the first place, will continue, because there is no change in the thought or the emotional body of the individual. And thus they're constantly emanating the same frequency and attracting the same experiences. Which is why it is important to also give them messages. When we look at clearing things from a perspective larger than just chakras, when we can think about emotional body clearing and the thought body clearing and the lower body clearing, that's what we can allow an individual to have experiences whereby they can understand more greatly what it is that they need to do. But our greatest hope always is that when we're sitting and doing something, some sort of energy work with an individual, that they might also realize and have the experience that they need to create a change within themselves as well. So what you said there is absolutely right. The change also needs to come from the individual. So the next thing, which brings us to the next point, is acquiring consent. Often when we work on someone, we have to acquire their consent or permission. And it's always necessary to work with someone's chakras and have their consent. Because even as you send energy, you might sometimes feel a resistance from the recipient, or the energy might simply be bounced back to you. And if you feel that that is happening, stop and ask for consent. And if necessary, you may ask something like, I send this healing to the recipient with divine order, because divine order ensures that only energy which is consented is passed through. The consent might not always come from the individual. itself. It might come from their soul as well, is something that I've noticed. And another thing, of course, to do is to take a moment to center yourself before you start. The clearer we are when we are doing this work, the clearer the energy can flow through us. And the clearer the energy that can flow through us, the better the outcome we can have for the individual, because we step out of the way. When we're sending someone energy, or when we're doing any energy work, if we're thinking about what it is that I'm going to do after this session is over, what things do I need to buy, this, that, those will not allow you to be in a more receptive state than what you naturally can be in. So it's important for us to be inside of that moment. And the one thing that I like to do is to constantly wish for the best outcome for the individual, no matter what it might be, to send them along with the energy that you're sending them, send them love, and visualize them in their highest, with their highest outcome, being their highest self, in their highest potential. I often see that sense of love that you can transfer there transcends any limitation. So it's always good to perhaps take a few breaths, and this is something that we'll do all the way into your upper chest. And if you can, breathe through your heart. Focus on the area of the back of the head and the neck, your head and neck, to allow more energy to pass through you. And then feel a sense of love for the recipient and offer them your love. And it's, when I do this, I often start with something called spirit to spirit. Spirit to spirit is probably the first thing that we're going to learn today. And it is a very important, yet a shortcut to connect to many aspects of yourself, including all the energy that is present around you at all times, to be able to easily connect to it, to be able to easily raise your vibration whenever you're sitting and working with someone. So let's understand what is spirit to spirit. Spirit to spirit is a 3-part process. It is used to directly connect with the greatest spirit, called by whatever name you choose to describe the divine, whether it be your inner spirit, the Holy Spirit, God, Kuan Yin, Christ, God, Goddess, Allah, Ganesh, a higher power, or anything that is meaningful to you, a greater spirit. The second part is to link with the divine. When we link with the divine, it ensures that anything we do or anything that we perform when we're performing chakra medicine will be accomplished with spiritual boundaries and for the highest good. So we can do this in a very simple invocation. And it's something that we will practice just now. So affirm that you are a spiritual being and that your core essence is love. So just mentally affirm that to yourself. That you are a spiritual being and that your core essence is love. And now affirm the presence of other spiritual beings involved in your endeavor. This might include another person participating in this chakra work, a friend, a group, or if you're alone, the presence of your invisible helpers, your guides, your masters, your master guides. Call upon their presence and call upon the presence of the greater spirit and surrender to it. Allow this higher presence to instruct, guide, teach, heal, protect, and help with whatever you're focusing on. And as you're doing this, you can see and you can feel the energy of this room has instantly lifted. So we'll do this one more time. Again, with all of your consciousness, affirm that you are a spiritual being and that your core essence is love. And affirm the presence of other spiritual beings involved in this endeavor. The presence of your invisible helpers, always standing by you, transferring their energy upon you. And now go within and call upon the presence of the greater spirit that is within each one of us, and surrender to it. So spirit to spirit, as you will find, has nearly universal applications. As I said above, that this is a shortcut that you can use to instantly raise your vibration. Whether you're sitting down in preparation for a meditation or working with the chakras, or even participating in a professional event, whether you're driving, whenever you want to instantly raise your vibration, invoke spirit to spirit. So as we've done this now, let us use a small exercise to locate our own chakras. Now, I know that all of you are very experienced at doing this, but perhaps we can do this small little exercise to see just within ourselves and locate our chakras as we prepare for the energy transmission that is coming to them. So to locate your chakras using your hands, which is easiest done on someone else, you can flick your hands and then just rub them together and create an energy flow between your palms. And if you often absorb other people's energies, you might consider sending and receiving energy through the energy field that surrounds your hands rather than through your hands. Now hold one hand out about 6 inches above a potential chakra, perhaps your heart chakra, and move it around in gentle circles until you sense a strong pulse of energy emanating from the body. And you'll notice that the most intense area marks the very center of the chakra. And what you can do now is, once you've sensed that, you can use your other hand and you can do the very same thing, holding it 6 inches above the same chakra, and move it around in gentle circles until you can feel a strong pulse, an energy emanating from that center in your body. And perhaps if you want now, you can do it on another chakra. Perhaps your solar plexus, your third eye, your throat, whatever you're drawn to. Again, creating gentle circles with one hand, feeling the strong pulse of energy. And when you feel its center, perhaps you can try with another hand. And as you do so, you might feel that these might not always be in the center of your body. Sometimes they might be a bit to the left, a bit to the right. And with this magnetic energy that you feel between your hands and the chakras, you can will the chakras just through moving your hand to come into a more central position. You can also sense if there is too much energy in a chakra, just by holding your hand about 6 inches above your potential chakra. You can will it, or you can visualize or imagine that it's reducing a little bit in size. Or perhaps even increasing if there is less energy there. Just until it feels right. And you'll notice that as it comes into its perfect position, into its perfect size, it'll just feel right. Now you can do this on an individual, or you can do this on yourself. You can find the chakras from the back of the body as well. And it works in both ways. How did you all go with this exercise? Were you able to sense and feel your chakras?
I did my heart. Sorry.
Sorry, you might have to go one at a time.
I said that I felt the warmth, so like some cold and warm.
That's nice. What about you, Holly, Karina, and Steph? How did you go?
I found that my heart chakra, so that was the first one that I done, and it is actually sitting up a little higher, sort of more just probably like a couple of inches up higher. So I thought, like I was a bit confused about where it was, and then when you said that they sometimes do sit off center, I was like, okay, well, I will have to practice bringing it back down to center.
Yes, you can do that, and that's it's very common for them to shift a little.
Yeah.
If you started doing this, you'll notice that you'll be doing this every day. They do tend to move a little bit every single day.
Okay.
How about you, Karina and Steph? How did you go?
For me was sorry.
No, go on, Gloria. It's fine.
No, I was just I just remember that somebody told me a long time ago that our hands with the exercise that you describe, it's like our phone with the universe, that it's enough to do that movement and then feel the energy in our hand, and that's already, we get the answer.
Yes.
If the energy is warm or cold. And for me, it's when I think that the chakras in the hands are open, so for a lot of us, of course, and then when you do this, it's like you charge the chakras from the hand and they connect with the chakras around the body.
Yes.
I mean, for me, it's like I automatically feel like I have to make a movement of turning clockwise or the other way around. It's just coming in a kind of natural way.
That's awesome. You are all obviously very, very gifted individuals. This is this exercise is it is definitely when you're starting out and feeling your chakras, but you are all obviously very gifted and you sense in the most incredible ways. Wow. How about you, Steph? How did you go?
I'm here with Ben, so we're practicing on each other, which is pretty helpful. I'm kind of used to scanning chakras and stuff. I was trying to do the circular movements to try and create a bit more for something like that. It sort of worked. But yeah, I can just easily kind of feel which chakra is like pulsing. Well, it's like kicking back against my hand, do you know? But Ben here has never done any of this before, and he picked it up like a piece of paper. Like
Awesome.
he was able to figure out, well, sense very strongly in his hands what chakras of mine were out of balance. So that was very good.
That's incredible. Yeah. Ben, you should, whilst you're sitting there and we're going through the next slide, perhaps you can even try from the back of Steph's body.
Okay.
See if you can sense them from there as well.
Yeah, for sure. I could almost feel, I'm pretty sure I was doing energy work on me as well, because I was getting more relaxed. So like, pretty amazing, the power of intention. You don't have to be Reiki attuned to really work with energy, you know? It's all intention.
Yes, I think with all of what we're doing today, there is no attunement required.
No, absolutely not. Definitely great. Thank you so much, Prash.
You're welcome, guys. So
and
when
also, sorry, Prash,
go ahead.
The beautiful singing of Sasha, I think, brought us into a very positive mood.
I have tried with her to tell her to, be silent when I'm doing the workshop, but it never works. So I've given up.
No, let it happen, Prash. It was honestly like, it made us feel a little more love. So it's
awesome. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
So as we're sensing chakra energy, we might feel different things. And of course, these different things mean different things to each individual. For example, cold or heat, they occur when energy is either repressed or inflamed. But for me personally, I find cold to be an area of good energy and heat to be an area of bad energy. But it works different with different people. I've noticed that people have different relationships to heat and cold when they're sensing an individual, and whichever one works for you is best. I think when we're starting out, the best thing that we can do is sit with another person who's also sensing, and as we pick up something intuitively, we might sense heat on a particular area, and then we might feel that this is let's say if I'm working on someone and I feel heat in an area, and I pick up intuitively that there's lack of energy flow here, and then someone else inspects the same area on that individual and they feel, for example, cold, but they also feel that there is a lack of flow, then we've understood that the lack of flow is common, but what I'm sensing lack of cold as is heat, and the other person is sensing is cold. So it's heat and cold can often be very relative to the individual. There's also tingling. Often we might feel tingling, and that often indicates the site of necessary change, and that most importantly the chakra is willing to be shifted or transformed. It is often the first way most of us experience energy. Also, as we're running our hands through or above 6 inches above a person's body, we might feel that on maybe, say, for example, the throat chakra, we might be able to sense the energy quite far out, maybe even up to 10 inches. And then you go next to another chakra, say, for example, the heart chakra, and the area that it is covering is maybe 4 inches, or there might be a dip or a plunge in that chakra site. And that dip usually indicates missing or repressed energy. A bulge, which is the opposite of the dip, a protuberance, suggests that there is extra energy, or sometimes the energy can also be of good health. The bulge obviously is, if you look at an area with a dip and then you look at an area with the bulge will obviously look like the energy or the chakra has extra energy. But again, it is important for us to check whether it has extra energy or whether it just has the right amount of energy. Another thing are holds. And holds indicate missing chakric energy, particularly when it comes to ripped cords, or the ejection site of an inner child, or remnant from a traumatic accident or serious damage such as physical, sexual, or perhaps even addictions. Holes are very common because as we all experience things in our lives, every individual will have a lot of inner child trauma. Perhaps people who have had traumatic accidents will have more. People with physical or sexual damages or traumas will have more. Slits, rips and tears often accompany holes, and it feels to me that they come from chronic abuse, especially when they can be self-inflicted as well, especially mental or emotional or neglect. For example, if you see a person in self-pity, and as a consequence they continue to tell themselves that my life is so and so because this person did this to me and that person did that to me, and therefore I'm stuck here and I can't do anything, and all of their experiences that come from that state of trauma that they initially had, and they continue to, they're not experiencing the trauma anymore, right? That event is already over, but the aftermath of that event keeps repeating mentally or emotionally as they keep reaffirming that belief or that thought within themselves. And that can often lead to slits, rips and tears. The slits, rips and tears and even holes can also come from energetic attachments. And when I say energetic attachments, I mean entities. Then there are thin areas which indicate lack of boundaries, leaks which indicate escaping energy, and blotches, fuzziness or muddiness, which talks about congested energy. Now, blotches, fuzziness, muddiness, dips, bulges, they can all be cleared to a certain extent with chakra clearing and energizing. When it comes to slips, rips and tears and thin areas, and particularly leaks, they have to be patched up. And this is where we sort of get into the idea of chakra webs as well. If you can imagine that around your etheric body there are webs of chakras, or these webs, so think of a spider web, and imagine there is a hole in that spider web, and as this energy, let's say from your heart center, is emanating outside, it has to stay within that boundary of the spider web. But because there is a hole in the spider web, now this energy is leaking outside. So you might be holding a lot of energy, but this energy is actually going outside. And an individual with enough practice will be able to feel these slits, rips and tears on their own chakra body. And it's important to sow them, which is something we'll be learning today as well. So what is chakra cleansing and how can we do it? So first of all, let's understand, what does chakra cleansing or clearing do? As we've understood before, a block or a lack of flow of energy is one and the same. There is always a lack of flow. We come into this world with a perfect flow of energy, and usually with our experiences we create a lack of flow through our thoughts and emotions, through the experiences that we hold up in our energetic, emotional and mental body. So in order to clear the chakras means to increase the level of flow so that energy can move from one chakra to another in a clearer and more focused way. So cleansing can also free up energy that is stuck in one's chakra or a part of a chakra and allow it to return to its rightful place, thus plugging or sealing holes and rips. Can we work on one chakra together? One chakra at a time, or can we do all chakras, particularly in a session? You can cleanse as many chakras. You can do them all together. You can do one at a time, and you can do them all in one sitting. There is no limitation whatsoever. So, preparation for chakra cleansing. And this is a very simple exercise. And you can practice this individually on yourself at the moment, but when we get into the one-on-one, we can practice this on each other. So it's very simple. All you need to do is rub your hands. Again, you would want to do the spirit to spirit to very simply and very quickly increase your vibration, and rub your hands together and just open your palms in preparation for receiving and sending energy. An important thing that you can do is set an intention about your goals. You can establish a general objective, such as to release all unnecessary energies for you at this time. But if you want, you can also create more directed goals based on your chakra assessment, such as to clear all past life issues, cleanse yourself of others' energies, to let go of physical, emotional, and or relationship misperceptions, and more. So decide whether, when you're working on an individual, you can work on both sides of their chakras, as in the front of their body and the back of their body. If you want, the easiest way is to get them to lie on their side, so you have access to both. But if you're working on yourself alone, you can just place your hands in front of your body. It doesn't matter whether you do the front or the back. You can just hold the intention that as you perform this exercise, it'll clear both the front and the back of the chakras. So, what is the process? So we've rubbed our hands together. We've done the spirit to spirit, increased our energy. Now, hold your pulling or receiving hand, whichever you think is a more natural hand for pulling out energy, 2 or 6 inches away from your first chakra, say for example your heart chakra, and activate your goal with the intention and draw out any desirable energies. It'll almost feel like you can almost go into your chakra. Imagine you're putting your hands inside of your body, and you may visualize this blocked energy in whatever form. I often visualize it I see it in a dark blotchy patch, and you can just imagine pulling it out. And if you're new to this, it is always safest to ask divine nature, your guides, or some positive force in your life to take this energy and store it in a safe place where it is turned into light and returned back into the universe. So again, pull that energy out with the one hand. And now take your other hand, which is your sending hand, and in the same area, transmit healing energy to fill in the empty space. All you need to do is hold the intention. Energy is already flowing through you. It is coming through your invisible helpers. And now you can let go of the dark energy that you pulled out in the other hand. Allow it to be received by your guides. And now hold out both your hands, not just the one, both your hands now over the chakra. And simply ask that balance and integration are restored. That balance and integration are provided. And you can do this again if you sense there is more energy, more blocked energy that you can pull out. Again, reach in with your pulling hand. Imagine you're lifting it up. Pull it out and offer it to your guides, to the universe, to be returned to Source's love and light. And now place your hands again on top of the chakra. And just holding the intention. You can visualize almost that the chakra is restoring its perfect health, that it's perfectly balanced. That's right. And you can perform this on every chakra the same way. Now there is, as you can see, there isn't a very big or thought out process to do this, because this is simple. And it's meant to be simple. So all you can do now is just shake your hands, rub them together, maybe shake them, and ask that all the unnecessary energy that is in your hands be taken away and sent back to the divine. It's very simple now. Just sit and observe what has happened to this chakra. All you had to do was set an intention. Perhaps maybe visualize a little bit. So the one thing it teaches us, if you felt a shift of energy in your chakra, is that no matter who you are, no matter where you are always connected to energy. And when you feel ready, you can share how this process was for you. If you had any questions before we move on to the next step. Were you all able to feel a shift in your energy of the center that you were working with?
And I feel lighter. I think when I first started, sorry, I'm going to talk for ages now. When I first started and I was using my pulling hand, I actually swapped hands because my left hand always holds a lot more energy than my right hand. So I feel like my right hand is actually my pulling hand and my left my more energy.
That's awesome. And which chakra did you work with?
I was doing my heart chakra.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And I feel like it worked. I feel like I got to the end and I was like, my self-confidence just went through the roof. I was like, yes, I can do this. This is awesome.
Yes, you can do this. And it's simple and it's easy.
Yeah. I think it's easy. For me, I have to really ground myself and be really conscious of grounding myself.
But if anything, you saw that you can do it. And it's just about practice. You'll see when we do all of the chakras at the end, you'll see how simple it is.
Okay.
How about you, Karina, Ruhaya, Steph, Ben? How did you guys go?
If I missed something, like for me, first of all, like the blockages, the way you were describing it, I don't experience them that way, when you're talking about like the tears, all the way the chakras imbalances can appear, I do not experience them like in such details. I
Right.
just feel like just unbalanced. There is something that is unbalanced, like something more general. That's the first thing I can sense. I can see that okay, there is an unbalance there. That can be a blockage or anything. Just get the overall vibration of what it is. And secondly, like I don't have, in my sense, the way I experience it, my practice, there is no hands pulling out negative energy. What happens with me, always, I have, like with my two hands, I have like one receiving hands, like as if I'm just like a channel, like a conduit where the energy flows through. I have like one receiving hands and the other one that is sending the energy, and that same hand will send the energy that will transmute. The way I experience it, I just see them like dissolving, like, just like just dissolve. There isn't, so I don't have any negative energy that I will extract. What happens and what I hear is really transmutation, dissolving, disintegration, things just dissolve. And sometimes also what I experience really, it's like it happens like consecutively or simultaneously, like the energy would be transmuted and then the chakra will be replenished. You see,
Right.
I don't experience it in like sequences, like, this one first and then that one. That's not how I experience it. Although it can be, I can sense sometime like a little lapse, but there's always transmutation. I just sense it. Like, I mean, it's like I'm guided through it, as if like the
Yes.
energy that flows through me is really intelligence. It
Yeah.
knows exactly what it does more than I do. Like my mind cannot almost, I mean, I follow, I understand what is happening, but it's like that energy that flows through me knows exactly. So I just observe that, okay, here we are transmuting, and I can sense the energy dissolving or something being replenished. So I don't, that's why when you were explaining, like guiding it, like it didn't come naturally to me, like let's say to extract the energy and then send it back, because it doesn't, I don't experience it like that. Although I was going, but it wasn't happening like that to me. It was just transmuting, like dissolving it and replenishing. Like, it's just like the way it naturally operates with me. That's what kicked in when you started
Yeah.
explaining.
And that's perfect. It is, there is no one way or right way of doing it. It seems that all that has come to you and all that you're doing, you're being absolutely guided in your own unique way, and that's the perfect way. As we do this, this is just a starting step, right? As we do this, we will find things that work for us, things that come to us more naturally. And you are already so far ahead and so much in the state that all of this intuition and guidance flows through you naturally. And as you said so rightfully, it doesn't have to be sequential like that. As you practice and you are guided to do it, it'll happen automatically.
Yeah, that's exactly that. It really happens automatically. It's not like as if I'm following what is happening. You see what I mean? It's not like I'm asking, I'm not directing it, but it's just like I'm following. It's really like the energy knows. I can sense that energy. It's really, it knows what it does, what it needs to do, and I'm just like following it somehow. I don't know if you get what I mean.
I
But,
understand. I
yeah.
understand.
Yes.
I understand. How about you,
And
Steph?
I just surrender anyway. That's what
Yes.
the best thing I do. And really that's every time with my higher self, just surrender, just let it be, let go. Even if you don't understand exactly, later on I do. Even if in the moment I don't necessarily understand, the more I surrender, the easier it flows. It just flows naturally.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then,
Absolutely.
excuse me, then the person who's receiving, experiencing, they tell me, okay, I'm experiencing this, and all the parts where I felt the energy working, like dissolving or replenishing, they have physical experience of what was happening. They share with me, okay, I felt that at this place and so forth. So that's what gives me confidence. Okay, because sometimes you
That's
might question
incredible.
because you're like, okay, yeah. So that's my share.
That's incredible. That's a very, very gifted Ruhaya. And that's absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
How about you, Steph and Karina? How did you fare?
So Prash, I gave it a crack on Steph using both sides.
Yeah.
And the first chakra I worked on was the throat, and I could sense the energy on both sides of the hand, and it was getting a little bit warmer on. I was using my left on the front and my right on the back. I was getting a bit warmer for the back.
I could feel that through the back, actually. I didn't feel anything at the front. I just felt energy like coming through the back. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then worked on solar plex, and that's when I could actually start feeling energy actually rotating in an anti-clockwise direction on my left hand.
Wow.
And a little bit on the right, but it wasn't anywhere near the same as on the left hand. So I thought that was really, really cool.
That's awesome, man. And again, this will develop with practice. Soon it'll come to the point where you won't have to even use your hands. You'll just be able to, as Ruhaya and Karina and Holly and Steph as well, as you get more gifted and practice more, it'll just come to you naturally in the way that is just right for you. So it's amazing that you are already picking up so much information right away. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Thanks, Prash.
Super impressed.
Awesome.
Thank you for that.
Thanks, guys. How about you, Karina? How did you fare?
I think for me, it's like, when you are using a certain way, you just go, you just do it, like you feel. So for me, it's more like I move the energy with one hand and I keep the other hand down, and I'm not shaking. And this is the way to get rid of wherever is no needed. So,
That's
and I
awesome.
do it as long as I feel a kind of, I imagine that the energy goes, let's say, from the left hand and goes through my heart chakra, and there is transformed and goes out on the other hand. So I do it as long as I feel
That's
like
awesome.
a kind of pain in the shoulder, and then I stop. Something like that feels fun.
Yeah, see, for yourself and Karina, and Ruhaya, you all have been doing it for so long. You are you have incredible ways. Something that you should all teach us as well. How they come to you naturally. Yeah, it's really incredible. Really incredible.
I think everybody in the end feels his own way, because I was also learning all kind of methods, and they just didn't, feel right for me. And then I thought, I just have to do how I feel it. I don't have think of the process, it's like Ruhaya says, it's more let it happen as long as it feels good. Yeah.
Now, once we've finished this next step, I'd like to. I personally really like this. This one. It's almost like a meditation, and I feel that I personally get lots of goodness from this. And so this is the part where we energize the chakras. So again, what we do is we take a few deep breaths, bring ourselves into a relaxed state, and you could be doing this to a person or yourself with your hands or even without your hands. And if you're doing this with your hands or even without your hands, all you basically have to do is whichever visualization, however, like Ruhaya said, she can feel the energy. Karina, as you said, whether you do cards and draw the energy from the cards, whichever way comes naturally to you, focus on one of the chakras. Say, for example, focus on the first chakra and just envision it as black in color, absolutely black. And as you envision it in black, you're depicting only its unnecessary energy. And once you visualized it like that, you ask the divine or your inner spirit to pull out any undesirable energy from that chakra, so that blackness is removed. And you can almost imagine or visualize it. So if you're thinking of your root chakra, you can envision it as being absolutely a black ball, and thereby it's only depicting all of the unnecessary energy that's in there. And you can ask the spirit or your divine self to remove or pull out any of this undesirable energy from the chakra. And what you can then do is, once the energy is pulled out, you can activate the natural color of the chakra. In this case, it would be red, through intention. So all you basically have to do then is to just visualize that a red light is now forming or coming from the center of this black ball. And as this color emanates from the center of the chakra, it pushes out any negative or remaining energy, undesirable energy, and it's pushing it out. It's going out of your body, out into the ether, and going into the source to become light again. So concentrate on that color, either seeing, sensing, or feeling, or even hearing it, until it adjoins with the first auric field. So when we discussed chakras last week, we discussed that the 7 chakras in the body reside in 7 layers in the auric field. So the closest to the skin is the root chakra auric layer. And then just outside this auric layer is another auric layer of your sacral chakra. And then your solar plexus, and then your heart, your throat, your third eye, and then even your crown. So the first auric field, which is of the root chakra, is located within the skin, just an inch outside of it. So as you expand this energy, this color, it's emanating through that chakra, and it's going, and once this color hits the auric field, you will feel a sudden shift. You will feel something has happened, that there is more vibrancy, that there is more health, more energy flowing through this chakra. And I often do this, and it's a quick and simple and easy way of emanating chakra energy and bringing balance and bringing harmony almost instantaneously. And once you've done that, you can then move on to the next chakra. And in this case, the color of the chakra, of the sacral chakra, will be orange, and so on and so forth. Now, when you come to the crown chakra, and you're envisioning violet light around the crown chakra, you can also similarly clear the 3 other chakras that are above it as well. So above the crown chakra, as we discussed last time, you have another chakra, and this chakra has the color black. So again, you would imagine it even blacker than it is, and perhaps however you visualize it. I normally, when I visualize that particular chakra, because it's black as well, and you're envisioning the chakras as black as well, it can get a bit confusing. So I envision the unnecessary energy in that black chakra as sort of darkish clouds. I give it a texture. Above that is the golden chakra, which is golden in color. You don't really have to know exactly where they are, because when you put your attention to them, you will feel them anyway. And the chakra above, the next chakra after the golden chakra is at the base of your feet, which is it's on both your feet, and it's brown in color. And then outside of your etheric body, the 7 auric layers, is another chakra which is pink in color. And again, you don't have to know exactly where they are. As you visualize them, you will feel them. I can guarantee that. And then finally, outside of the pink, in the next layer, is a transparent chakra. So again, as you focus on each one of these chakras, so you'll easily be able to do the 7 chakras, but when you get to the 8th, which is the black, then the 9th, which is the golden, you might have to use a little bit more of your imagination. But you will feel that it is easily done. So again, I'll repeat the 7 chakras, then the black chakra on top of the crown, then a golden chakra on top of the black chakra, then around your below your legs at your feet is the earth chakra, which is brown in color. And then outside of your 7 auric layers is a pink chakra. And then outside of that is a transparent chakra. Now, this one we will do together. But before we do that, we'll go into the next process, because we can do the next few processes together one by one, and you'll see how easy it'll get. So all you have to remember is to envision it as black and ask your divine or your inner spirit to pull out any undesirable energy from the chakra. And now activate the natural color of the chakra through intention, and as this color emanates, visualize it emanating from the center of the chakra and pushing out any remaining negative energy or undesirable energy. Energizing the chakras. So chakras can be deficient in energy, and if this is the case, they need to be energized or charged. Now, as Ruhaya and Karina mentioned, this can happen in a very natural and guided process as well. And it's best to go with the process that comes most naturally to you. But sometimes the reason for low energy is that the chakra isn't receiving kundalini or support from the chakra directly below it. And in this case, it is good to clear the chakra block from the supporting chakra, which is just below it, and allow the reset of the depleted chakra to create more flow in the chakra above it. So often, if you find that as you're sensing someone, and if you feel that, say for example, the heart chakra is say for example blocked, or it's not in a state of a good flow, it's important to see the chakra right below it as well, because you'll often find that the keys to unlocking the heart chakra will usually be in their solar plexus. And sometimes you'll go to the solar plexus and you'll see even the solar plexus is not moving in its fullest capacity. And then you might have to go down to the sacral and even to the root. Now, a good thing to look at here is that this is chakra and this is energy. And all of us store energy in our chakras through our experiences. So as you're going down through the chakra, particularly the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root, which is where we connect ourselves to this three-dimensional reality that we exist in. All of our experiences happen in this three-dimensional reality, and therefore most of the experiences that we store will be within these first 3 chakras. The residue or the effect of the experience can cause blockages in our higher chakras as well. For example, a person I know used to see things as a child, and they didn't eventually want to see from their third eye, so they decided to close their third eye. Now the decision to close their third eye came from experiences which existed in their three-dimensional reality. And therefore, for many years since, they might have tried to open their third eye chakra again, but without realizing that the flow of energy that needs to go into the third eye is actually not being supported from the chakras below it, from the chakras of the solar plexus, sacral, and the root. And so when they did more work around those chakras, they were able to see that they didn't really have to work so much on opening their third eye, because now the energy was flowing much clearly upwards, enabling them to create the reality that they wanted to choose. Now, a chakra might be also reduced because of attachments, strongholds, holes, or rips. And in this case, it is important to fix the source of the problem. And this is where chakra medicine gets a lot deeper, because chakras, as I said, are related to experiences, or they hold the energy of the experiences, or karmic energy, in other words. How do we clear an experience? As healers, we do not have either the energy or the permission from anyone's soul to clear experiences, because by clearing experiences, we often tend to take away the learning. And therefore, it is, unless it is a very high being who does it, as human beings, we are, until we reach a very high level where we can allow people to escape karma or to transmute their karma, we cannot do this. So in order to release the experiences, they have to release the experiences themselves. So as Karina mentioned at the start of the workshop, that we can do energy work on the individual, but if they don't change their habits, they don't change their thoughts or their emotions, these experiences are going to come back to them. And that's absolutely right. A lot of the times people are experiencing things because there is a higher plan for them. Now, we can allow them to experience the higher plan in accordance to the divine, in accordance with the divine law, in a more loving, peaceful, and restful state, one which is not causing agitation or confusion or anxiety or frustration or any other negative emotion. But it is important for the individual to realize where those emotions, where those experiences are stemmed, and to release them from there. And that's where other modalities come into place, where an individual can go into experiences and clear things from experiences. Because unless we don't clear things from experiences, we are not clearing the energy from all of our energy centers, on all the layers of our energy centers, and therefore we might be able to release the energy from the chakra, but it might stay in the auric field. And therefore the auric field is integrating or communicating with our emotional and mental body, thus bringing back those experiences. So another thing that we can do as we identify these problems in an individual, is to offer them things like affirmations. Affirmations are things that an individual can do to increase their energy. They might not completely learn the experience that has caused the energetic blockage to take place, but they might be able to more resiliently allow themselves to come out of that experience by shifting their thought and their emotion through an affirmation. And yet another scenario might involve a chakra that won't be cleansed, and it might need to be energized with enough energy to release congestion. And sometimes a chakra can simply be tired from working too hard. No matter the situation, chakra charging can be an invaluable tool. So how do we charge chakras? So we learned one thing at the start, which is spirit to spirit, and we're learning another important thing here called healing streams of grace. Now, as much as divine guidance and knowledge comes to you in your own unique way, I have found that integrating healing streams of grace allows more energy to pass through, more guidance to pass through, and to allow a greater source of light to create a reality for an individual. So healing streams of grace are an important energetic tool, and I use them quite often. Intuitively, I vision this world surrounded with rivers of light, completely submerged with the river of light, as much light as I can imagine. And this light reflects the divine's love and generates directly from the source. So I envision the world full of rivers of light, and this light reflects the divine's love and is generated directly from the source. And every stream of light is constructed uniquely by the divine and can be directed to use to accomplish a certain aim. So each time you invoke a healing stream of grace, whatever is best for the individual will be guided through. We don't have to direct or condense it to a certain theme or a certain matter. Whatever is right for the individual will come into place through the universe itself. So one particular stream of grace might reduce a tumor, and another can wrap itself around a wounded inner child and provide a balm of love. We don't have to literally steer a stream of grace towards an endeavor, but merely ask for what we need and assume its presence. And because of their universal malleability and mobility, streams of grace can release attachments. They can gently rid us of our ancestral entities and more. And more importantly, they also assure that the energy we pull out of another's or our own chakras is safely disposed, and that the resulting empty space is filled in appropriately. So, in other words, all you really have to do is invoke the healing stream of grace. There is great light all around us at all the time, and when we quieten ourselves, we can feel this light. As you all sense now, this energy is always around us. It is always inside of us because we are created of energy. But when we can quiet our mind, we can feel more and more of this energy because it's always around us, and we can call a greater amount of energy to us. And it's something that I'll be guiding you to in just a few moments. We will quieten ourselves and we will find and feel all the energy that is around us and call to ourselves even more energy. And all we need to do then is, in my case, I say a prayer. I ask for the healing streams of grace to be constructed most uniquely in a way through divine law and divine order, for the best outcome for the individual. And you'll see how easily it comes. All we have to do is quieten ourselves and raise our vibration, which is something we'll do in just a moment. So, how do we do this? So prepare your hands again, lie down, sit down, stand up, whatever you do. Whether you're working on the front or the back or the side of anyone's body, find yourself in that position. Hold your hands next to the other person, 2 to 6 inches away from the depleted chakra, and absorb light from the atmosphere. And just allow yourself in that moment to receive healing streams of grace from the heavenly spheres. We will tap into this. We will tap into finding and feeling all of this energy around us. And now send this energy either from your hands straight into the depleted chakra, or imagine it however you want to do it. This energy is intelligent. It'll go where it needs to go. Allowing the chakra to absorb the energy until it is fully recharged. And you will sense a seize of flow when this happens. When the chakra is fully recharged and energized by divine law. And you can conduct this experiment with every chakra if need be. And besides charging the chakra, this activity can also help seal them. Seal the chakra so they stop losing energy. Again, I'll just quickly jump through this. Relieving chakra congestion. Again, all you need to do is concentrate on the body of the chakra. Decide whether the chakra needs to be removed or relocated. The energy needs to be removed or relocated, or a combination of both. And using intuition or your hands, reach into the etheric field of the affected chakra and envision yourself removing the blockage. Now, as we've noticed, this might come to you in your own intuitive way. Whichever way comes to you is perfect. This is just one way and not the only way. You can also ask Spirit to accomplish this goal for you. If you are using your hands, you might actually find yourselves reaching downward as if into the body, grasping energy and sending it out into the space to return to source to become light again. And using your intention to sending healing streams of grace wherever they should go. As you can see, this is very, very similar to clearing energy. Which now brings us to the final one before we go into the meditation and practice this on one another. The process for using the light wand. Now, what is a light wand? A light wand is an energetic tool. It is accessible to all of us, and it comes directly from the soul plane. It is a wand which is used by our soul, passed on to us through our etheric body. And all we have to do is connect with this wand. We have to assume its existence. So having determined the nature of the chakra dysfunction, you can conduct the following steps using the wand. So imagine you are holding the wand. Assume the existence of this wand and your ability to hold it in either hand. And actually you can do this as we're talking. I don't know if all of you might have used a wand before, but just imagine and assume the existence of this wand and your ability to hold it in either hand. And know that this wand can pull, it can move, and it can add energy. And now open to the universal energy or a stream of grace. The energy that is all around you in this moment. It is all coming into this wand. You might visualize it as electricity or lightning, whatever you visualize is perfect. And ask your guidance to allow or affirm your right to use this wand for all tasks at hand. And remember, you do not need to change wands to undertake all your tasks. They can all be done by this one wand. Now allow this wand to send sound and light. Visualize and perceive the needed sonic and light energies passing through the wand and directly into the chakra that you are working on. Perhaps visualize that this is going into your heart chakra or whichever chakra you like. That there's light energy from this wand emanating with healing streams of grace and universal energy is passing directly into the chakra that you're working on. And you might be guided to move this wand, to tilt it, to bring it closer, bring it further away, or anything that you are guided to. Allow your intuition to guide you. And you can use this energy as a laser. As a laser of light and sonic energy, removing a tumor, or like a sewing kit to repair a rip, or in the form of a spoon to soothe and seal boundaries around the chakras. And you can collect unnecessary energies, knowing that whatever energy needs to be taken away is moved through the wand. Not through your personal energy system, but through the wand. That's right, just take a moment and move the smooth wand around. The laser light from this energy, repairing all that needs to be repaired, sewing all that needs to be sewed, just through your intention. It might feel like you're imagining it, but you are really creating it. Now, having felt the power of this wand, cleanse the wand. Just imagine yourself cleaning the wand and ask the angels perhaps to hold this wand and clean it with their light. Or perhaps you might imagine an element of wind, or water, or fire purifying this wand. And if you choose, you can ask that the divine breathe directly into this magic wand. And then visualize yourself putting it away until you need it again. And this beautiful magic wand does anything you set your intention to do with it. You can use it to instantly elevate the energy all around you. It comes from the energy of your soul. And now, having placed that one where it needs to be, just keeping your eyes closed as we jump into a meditation. Any thoughts that come into mind, allow them to go away easily and gently. Perhaps you can even imagine writing them down on a piece of paper. Just simply acknowledge them and then let them go. And as you watch any intruding thoughts that may have come about, you can release them from your mind as you come into this moment. And allow your mind to lift higher. More and more relaxed with each and every breath. That's right, and as you do that now, just take a moment to watch your breathing. And notice that if you let your spine relax, that it will oscillate slightly with each breath. That's right, just noticing your breath. And as you move that breath more and more into your upper chest, you'll find that your posture will be naturally drawn to a more erect and yet a very relaxed position. And as this happens, you may notice that there is an increase in the amount of energy that you can feel flowing through you. And that you might notice this energy first in the back of the head and neck. So allow that to begin to develop even more now. As you become more aware of it, and as you relax more. And find just that right position where it is easy and more comfortable to bring your vertebrae even more into alignment. Slowly and surely finding just that right position. So that the vertebrae allows, as it were, an energy to flow. An energy flow that lifts up out of the back of your head and neck and through the top of your head. As though you were suspended and supported by this energy itself. For you are, in many ways, the energy bodies that organize the matter that is your body. And you are becoming more and more aware of this relationship, of your ability to perfect your energy. The energy bodies that organize your physical being. That's right. And now take a deep breath and lift your chest with that breath fully into your upper chest, and find yet another even more relaxed, even smoother way to take yet another deep breath. And with each refinement now, continue to breathe deeply. For just a little bit into the upper chest. And let each breath bring about a refinement in your posture. That's right, and continue to find a way that your posture is affected by this breath, and the way that energy increases in its flow and lifts you even more on each inhale. And learn to hold and let that flow continue, and perhaps even increase as you exhale. Good. Now relax any remaining areas of tension in your body, perhaps in your legs or buttocks, your feet, your hands and wrists, your shoulders and arms, so that they are suspended upon this energy that is flowing up and along your torso and along your spine. And now begin to relax the area around your eyes, the temples, the sides of your head, your forehead. And over the top of your scalp. And take a little bit longer to find a way to let your jaw relax. And let go of that tension that is there from your daily interactions. And bring your breathing now back to normal, perhaps with slightly more air than normal, as you find this degree of relaxation more and more pleasant. That's right. And now begin to notice how the slightest movements of the head, at first the back and then forward, the slightest movements to the right and then to the left, that they bring about a change, an increase in that flow that you are experiencing now to the back of the head and neck. As though you are being suspended by it. And these slight movements might be like experiencing being lifted higher on this energy. Play with them now, the slightest movements. Directing your mind upward on this flow. As you do so, directing your mind upward with each increase, no matter how slight. For you may find that the smallest of movements bring about a subtle, yet very large increase in this energy. That's right. So continue to explore and let your mind lift upward. And you will find that the less effort you put into letting your mind lift, the higher it will flow effortlessly, increasing ever so wonderfully. That's right, upward now. Begin to explore as you reach upward, higher and higher. All the areas you can reach with your mind. For as you do so, you will find the depth of this state increasing and increasing, and your relaxation becoming deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper relaxed. As you are beginning to explore just what is possible to reach these frequencies, and you are exploring the realms beyond space and time. So as you become even more relaxed now, just allow yourself to become fully immersed in this experience. All the places that you can travel are truly infinite, beyond space as we know it, and beyond time as we experience it here on the earth plane. And feel all the light around you. And know that you are always connected to light. And from this space now, as you sense and explore all that is around you, affirm to yourself that you are a spiritual being and that your core essence is love. And affirm the presence of other spiritual beings involved in your life. All of the light workers and the presence of your invisible helpers. Perhaps you see them, sense them, feel them. And now call upon the presence of the Greater Spirit and surrender to it. As you allow this higher presence to instruct, guide, teach, heal, protect, and help you with whatever you're focusing on. That's right, and now allow yourself to come back slowly and easily back into the room and into your body, remembering this posture. More importantly, the energy flow you are able to achieve with this posture. And you will be able to achieve it again and again, easily and without effort. Coming back now easily and gently into this time of the earth plane. And when you feel ready, you can unmute yourself and talk about your experience.
Thank you, Prasad. It was such an amazing experience.
Thank you, Karina.
I feel like we are so privileged to have the chance to do these meditations with you, because the energy is very, very powerful.
Thank you, Karina. Hey, it's
I had
also
to think.
your beautiful
Yeah.
energy.
I think everybody's energy, but sometimes they said that even that I then on this extraterrestrial spaceship, that they have a room where they can just lay down, and then like the wheel of, how do you call that, where you rejuvenate or something, so it felt
Yeah.
something like that.
Wow.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
sure
Prash.
you would have felt
I
your
fall asleep.
guides. Sorry, Ruhaya. Sorry, I cut you off. Sorry.
No, go
Please
ahead.
go
I'll
ahead.
share later. No, I was saying that it was really deep. It took me very deep. I even slept at a certain point. I fell asleep. So but I was hearing you. It was very strange because I could still hear your voice, but I was gone. Everything was just still.
Wow. It's amazing how even just changing our posture slightly and allowing more light to flow through us changes our perception of reality so significantly. I just find that amazing. How did you go, Steph, Holly, Ben?
That was really, really nice, Prash. I'd be very curious to ask you what you felt was happening and what you noticed, and if you were tapping into us all individually, because it felt very powerful, like a whole heap of energy was just like shooting through my heart. I didn't even know what was going on, but it's kind of like my head was flipped back, and it was like, do you ever see those images of like light, just like someone's head is kind of poured back and there's this light emanating from their chest?
Wow.
Kind of what it felt like at one point. And yeah, like pretty much solar plexus up to the heart is all vibrating. He feel really amazing. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Let Ben tell you what he felt.
Yeah, so I felt a lot of energy. I'm really tingling at the moment, so which is really good. And I was going quite deep as well. I was getting to the point where I could feel that I could really just fall asleep straight away. But it was really good. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Steph.
Buzzing.
How did you go, Holly?
So I probably didn't feel it as much as everybody else did. I sort of came into it. It's pretty noisy here at home. Kids are getting organized for bed and things, so I was a little bit preoccupied. But once I got into it, I was in a really, really relaxed state. I didn't so much feel energy going through me, but I always get this vision, and it's a lake, and it's got really crystal clear water, and I go to it all of the time, but I'm not too sure. I haven't sat with it long enough to actually work out what it is yet.
That's beautiful. Is this lake on top of a mountain?
No, it's not. It's more like a valley.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps
I don't know. I haven't seen anything like it's sort of, it's hard to explain because it's not something that I could say that I have. It's more beautiful than what we have.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Perhaps when you are by this lake again, look into the lake, and as you see the sky being reflected in the water, notice the sky more deeply in this reflection and see what you see and sense. I have a feeling I have seen similar vision and heard of a similar vision in Oren's meditations as well. But I'll let you decipher it yourself. But the idea is that it's good that I've recorded this so that we can, at a later time, if you choose to, you can experience or experiment with this posture, because this posture is very important. Now, as we were all in meditation, collectively working and creating this beautiful energy that we all experienced, there was something else happening as well. And what was happening is that all of us were actually also on the soul plane, or at least our souls were. There was a big congregation of light, and this big congregation of light collectively transmitted some energy to us, which helped us work on our chakras. That's the way that I saw and experienced it. And even as I was narrating this meditation, it was happening to me as well, so it was a bit hard for me to stay in both places at the same time. But it's the beautiful power of the energy that we collectively create, and how easily we can find these deeper states of consciousness and travel higher and upwards into a state whereby we can experience the energy that is around us all the time. Now, the idea to do this meditation was to see and experience all of the energy that is around us at all times and how easily we can tap into it. and how we can use this energy to not just increase the vibration of our energy body, but we can assist others as well in whichever way is of the best choosing by divine order. So it was just to show you that, and to allow us to feel that we are always connected and that we are always guided by this level of energy. And no matter where we are in our spiritual journey, that the more we open to it, the more light we receive. Because there is an infinite abundance of this light here. And the more we tune to this light, the more light we bring into our daily lives. Through connecting with the light, the more light that flows through us, and the more that light flows through us, the more it touches everyone else. So, having said that, I know that this has gone on for a while. It's been nearly 2 hours. I don't know if you all would like to do a one-on-one with each other. How would you like to proceed further? I know it's taking a big chunk of your day from your time. So however you feel, whatever you feel is right, I'm happy to honor that.
Oh, Prash, what do you mean going forward? What are you talking about?
So the next component was to practice a one-on-one healing on each other. If you wanted to do that.
How were you gonna guide it, or were you just gonna let us practice from
well, all of you are very intuitive, and you can either learn use the material that was here, or you can go with whatever you are guided with. But that's if that is everyone's wish. I don't want to enforce it on anyone, please. That's not my intention. Whatever you all choose, I am happy with that.
I personally feel sorry that I'm so clean up now that even if somebody tries to clean something to me, I don't think they will find anything for now. So I'm not arrogant. It's just how it feels now, that there is nothing to clean.
Wow, Karina, you're amazing. That's fine. If one or two of you want to stay back and you want to practice, I'm happy to carry on. But if you feel that you're cleansed and clear enough, and you could do without the practice as well, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Steph.
No worries. I just want to say I really wish I could stay, but we need to put the kids to bed. They're kind of.
I understand. It's late. It's late.
But however, like if we ever want to do any more of this little sessions, definitely open to doing more and more. Happy to participate. But this today's. Yeah.
Yes, it did take quite long. Sorry, I was a bit slow today in going through it.
It's wonderful, but yeah,
it was awesome. I think thank God with that phase.
Thank you. In the next one, when we do the next one, we will go a little bit more into detail. Perhaps, for Karina, Ruhaya, even Steph, you guys are very well practiced in all of this already, and you'll find the next step quite easy. Perhaps Holly and Ben, you might want to practice at your own leisure a few times before we go into the next step. And when we do the next one, we will be connecting with our higher selves and finding yet another different method of creating and working with energy in ways through which we can allow an individual to experience and clear experiences themselves. So we'll go on to. Sorry, Steph.
Nothing. I'm just saying this is super exciting.
Yeah, it's coming as we're building it. It's coming together, and and we will connect with the I Am Presence and use the I Am Presence as a healing and energetic tool. Connect with Christ consciousness and do many, many different things and find and explore newer and newer realities of light that we can all touch and experience in the simplest ways.
Crush, thank you so much.
Awesome. Really, really excited. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, Rahaya. Thank you, Steph. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Karina. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Thank you all.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Speak to you soon. Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Crush.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.
See you.